How's it going, everybody? My name is LuckyBunz, and in today's video we're going to be covering the new update for Pokémon GO Battle League, the World of Wonders, or Season 18. So we're going to be covering the new movesets, the attack updates, rewards, and much more. And as always, if you guys do actually enjoy this type of content, please make sure to hit that like button down below, as these videos do actually take a long time to make. That being said though, let's jump straight into it. Alright, so this season is going to take place from March 1st to June 1st, and it's going to end and start at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time respectively. Now, a quick PSA before we actually get started with this season for two things actually. The first thing is to actually drop a star piece before you claim your end of season rewards on March 1st at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Without a doubt, this is definitely one of the best times to drop a star piece in game if you were able to make it to rank 20 or higher. Now, the second thing that we got to talk about is going to be the timed research pass for GBL. So as soon as the season starts, guys, go to the shop, claim this free pass. Now in total, there are going to be 5 research pages, all requiring 100 battles to complete in increments of 10 battles, so you can have a total of 10 different Stardust rewards, which you don't even have to redeem right away. So I would recommend stacking those and then dropping a star piece to claim everything. You're going to get a ton of Stardust. Now additionally, on top of that, you're going to be able to get an Elite Fast TM at 400 wins at the end of page 4, and an Elite Charge TM at 500 wins at the end of page 5. So this is a great way to get some additional Elite TMs, especially because they're so expensive in the shop if you are able to buy them. Now, if you guys are wondering how possible this is 100% doable, even if you guys don't like GBL that much. Like, you could literally throw half of your matches and you're still going to clear 500 wins by the end of the season. Trust me, it is very much a realistic possibility. You just have to be consistent. All right, let's move on over to the league rotation schedule for this season. So starting on March 1st to March 8th, we are going to have Great League as well as the Electric Cup Great League Edition. I believe that one is going to be new. From March 8th to March 15th, we're going to have Ultra League with the Spring Cup Great League Edition. I think Spring Cup is going to be a new one for this season. From March 15th to March 22nd, we are going to have Master League, and we're also going to have 4 times Stardust from the Winter Awards. This is going to be available for both leagues during this time, and we're going to continue on with the Spring Cup Great League Edition. Now, from March 22nd to March 29th, we're going to have all open leagues available, and the 4 times Stardust from Winter Awards is going to continue as well. Now, from March 29th to April 5th, we're going to have the Great League along with the Ultra League Premier Cup. Now, not the Ultra League Premier Cup Classic, so this means that you're still going to be able to use level 50 Pokemon, but you won't be able to use legendary or mythical Pokemon, or even Ultra Beasts, I think, as well. So that's pretty cool to see. That was definitely one of my favorite league rotations. I mean, Premier Cup Classic was my favorite league rotation, but Ultra League Premier Cup is still pretty good. I mean, we'll have to see how it ends up going. We only have that one rotation, which kind of sucks, but I guess it is what it is, right? Moving on, from April 5th to April 12th, we are going to have the Ultra League along with the Jungle Cup Great League Edition, and this Jungle Cup is going to continue onwards for the next 2 weeks as well. And then following that, from April 12th to April 19th, we're going to have the Master League back in rotation once again, along with the 4 times Stardust from Winter Awards. From April 19th to April 26th, we're going to have the Open League rotations once again, along with the 4 times Stardust from Winter Awards. From April 26th to May 3rd, we are going to have the Great League along with the Master League Premier Cup. That's actually interesting to see as well. That is a pretty good cup if I do say so myself. So we get at least 1 Ultra League Premier Cup rotation and 1 Master League Premier Cup rotation. From May 3rd to May 10th, we're going to have the Ultra League along with the Great League Remix Cup, and then from May 10th to May 17th, we're going to have Master League again in the open rotation along with the Great League Remix Cup again for the second week. Now for the remainder of the season, we're going to have the 4 times Stardust from Winter Awards, which is actually pretty cool. Now the final 2 rotations, or sorry, the final 2 weeks from May 17th to May 24th, we're going to have the Catch Cup Little Cup Edition, as well as the Catch Cup Great League Edition. So basically anything you caught during this season, that's what you can use during this time. I don't particularly love this, but I'm glad they didn't do this for the very last rotation. The very last rotation from May 24th to May 31st is going to be the Open League rotations once again. I think that is the best way to end off a season. Give people a fighting chance to actually hit Legend, and what better way to do that with the Open League rotations. So yeah, a lot of rotations right now with the 4 times Stardust from Winter Awards. That's actually really excellent for those of you who aren't going to be grinding for Legend, but actually just more grinding for Stardust. I'm also in that boat as well. So that is going to be the league rotation for GBL Season 18. Now let's move on over to the GBL Day event. We're going to have a GBL week as well as a GBL weekend. So first up, let's talk about GO Battle Week, which is going to take place during the same time as the Europe International Championship. The maximum sets per day are going to go from 5 to 10 each day, and it's going to take place from April 3rd to April 7th. Now, unfortunately, there is no timed research stated on the website here, so I don't know if we're going to get any Elite TMs from the timed research during this event. We may get something. Niantic is never, super consistent about posting all the information at once, so we'll have to wait and see what happens. But as of right now, guys, no timed research for Go Battle Week, but we are going to have quite a few days of 4-time Stardust from Win Rewards, which is actually pretty cool. And hopefully by this point, this is about a month into the season, you should have hit rank 20 at this point. This way you guys can maximize your Stardust gains from those Win Rewards. Now, the active leagues at the time, while they didn't post them, are going to be Great League, Ultra League Premier Cup from April 3rd to April 5th, and then Ultra League and Jungle Cup Great League Edition from April 5th to April 7th. I don't really know why they did this, or at least they timed this in between 2 different rotations, but there you go. It is what it is. Now, for Go Battle League weekend, this is going to take place the following month from May 4th to May 5th. So may the 4th be with you. We are going to have timed research focused on battling, of course. Most likely there will be an Elite TM from this timed research, so make sure that you guys do get it done between this time period. The active leagues as well are going to be Ultra League Open as well as Great League Remix. Now, I'm not particularly a big fan of Ultra League Open anymore, and Great League Remix is always a weird cup to me, but hey, if you guys like either of those, then this will be pretty easy for you. Otherwise, for people who are just going to farm Stardust, the active leagues don't matter as much, and the maximum sets per day instead of 5 to 10 are going to go from 5 to 20, so for 100 battles per day this time around for those 2 days. And again, ideally, guys, you should be ranked 20 at this point to further maximize your gains. Moving on, let's go over the guaranteed rank up encounters next. So basically, once you make it to the 3rd win reward, after you make it past this rank, you're going to get a guaranteed encounter with these following Pokemon. After rank 1, you're going to get one with Primeape. After rank 6, it's going to be Poliwrath. At Ace rank, you're going to get Dino. At Veteran, you're going to get Gumi. At Expert, you're going to get Jangmo-O. And then finally, at 3000 for Legend rank, you're going to get access to Pikachu Libre, which can be shiny. Now let's go over the regular encounters next. So once you make it past these ranks, you're going to get access to these Pokemon from the encounter rewards. So after rank 1, you're going to get Machop, Marill, Gligar, Grubbin, Skwovet. At rank 6, you're going to get access to Frillish and Carbink. Carbink is really good for the Great League. At rank 11, you're going to get access to Alolan Marowak, which did get a recent buff to Shadow Bone, so that's probably going to be really good to farm. Lickitung, Phantump, and Mareanie. Now after rank 16, you're going to get access to Vullaby, Wooloo, and Phalanx, and Vullaby is actually a pretty rare shiny to get, which is normally locked behind 12 kilometer eggs, so definitely make sure to try and get your hands on one of those. At rank 20 and beyond, you're going to get access to the 5-star raid bosses. So whatever's in rotation at that time, you could potentially get it from GBL once you make it past rank 20. Now, for some reason, I don't know why this is flipped, but at Ace rank, you're going to get access to Gumi encounters, which, yes, it can be shiny. At Veteran rank, you're going to get access to Dino, and then at Expert rank, you're going to get access to Jangmo-O. Now, I don't know why Gumi and Dino were flipped, because you actually get access to Dino from the guaranteed one at Ace rank, and then Gumi at the guaranteed one at Veteran rank. I have no idea why they flipped that, but Gumi is actually the more rare shiny to get, so for most of you guys out there, this actually works in your favor. Now, arguably one of my favorite things to talk about when I do these videos is the exclusive trainer pose. So we're going to get access to Hala, the Kahuna of Melee Island. If you're not familiar with this character, they're from Sun and Moon, and you're going to get access to their shoes at Ace rank. At Veteran, you're going to get their pants. At Expert, you're going to get their shirt, and then finally, at Legend, you're going to get access to the pose. I don't know how you guys are feeling about this one. I don't really love it that much, personally. The outfit is kind of cool. I kind of vibe with the outfit, but the pose itself, I don't know. Now, unfortunately, for some reason, I didn't actually see this in the blog post, but for the last 18 seasons, more or less, we've gotten free Elite TMs from hitting rank 19, and then again at the end of the season. For the past 17 seasons, we have gotten this, so maybe they just missed it in the blog post. I really hope that they didn't take them out, but if anybody can confirm or deny, let me know in the comment section down below. Otherwise, I'm just gonna go off a limb here and say that we're probably gonna get them, but if we don't, then this is definitely the reason why. Moving on though, let's go over the special cups for this season, starting off with the Electric Cup. So obviously you can only use Electric type Pokemon under 1500 CP, except for Stunfisk, Heliolisk, Charjabug, and Vikavolt. Charjabug would probably be OP in this cup, so definitely a good move to take that one out. Alright, for the Spring Cup, you can only use Water, Grass, and Fairy-type Pokemon, except for Mantine and Toxapex. For the Ultra League Premier Cup, for those of you guys unfamiliar, you can't use Legendary, Mythical, or Ultra Beast Pokemon, but anything else is fair game, so that means level 50 Pokemon are still on the table there. For the Jungle Cup Great League Edition, you can only use normal, grass, electric, poison, ground, flying, bug, and dark type Pokemon, which is a pretty big roster, but with that roster, you cannot use Gligar or Galarian Stunfisk. For the Master League Premier Cup, is basically the same as the Ultra League Premier Cup. You can't use a legendary Pokemon, mythical, or Ultra Beast Pokemon, but anything else is fair game, which includes level 50 Pokemon, so yeah. Now for the Great League Remix Cup, this does change every season depending on the new top 20 Pokemon. So in this case, that is going to be Alolan Sandslash, Wigglytuff, Lickitung, Lantern, Azumarill, Umbreon, Skarmory, Vigoroth, Medicham, Wishcash, Altaria, Registeel, Deoxys Defense Form, Bastiodon, Galarian Stunfisk, Talonflame, Trevenant, Charjabug, Scarulage, and Clodsire. Now we did talk about the Catch Cup earlier on in the video, but I'll just reiterate it once again. Basically anything you catch during the season will be eligible for these cups. Now with that being said, we can finally start talking about all the new movesets and updates and everything you guys want to know about. I am super excited to get into this right now because I was able to get an analysis from my friend M. Rinker. For those of you guys who don't know him, he actually consistently hits Legend every single season, not to mention just Legend, but the leaderboard every single season, like within the top 500 players, guys. So yeah, this is going to be super exciting to go over. We can finally take a look at what's going to be good. So we'll start off with Metal Sound first as a fast attack. The following Pokemon are going to get access to this moveset: Magnemite, Magneton, Wormadam in the Trash Cloak, Bronzong, Magnezone, the entire Clink evolution. Now as far as what Matt has said about this, he speculates that it might be a Mudshot clone. I just thought of a much better way to do this. We can actually just type in the moveset on PvPoke and then cross-reference it, so let's just do that. So going back to Metal Sound, nothing really stands out too much for Metal Sound. The next move is arguably one of the bigger ones. It's going to be Sand Attack, which is pretty crazy considering how many Pokemon got access to this moveset. Man, I don't even know if I can really process this right now, so huge shout out to Matt. He says that it appears to be a Fury Cutter clone. Alright, so we definitely got some big changes for Sand Attack. It looks like Hippowdon in its shadow form. Hippodus actually also gets some nice play there, which is interesting. Flygon doesn't seem to take advantage of Sand Attack, which is unfortunate. I thought it totally would. Yeah, the Hippo line, like Matt said, is the big winner here, I think, for sure, when it comes down to Sand Attack. Furfrou kind of making the top 200 list, though, right there. That's interesting, man. So Furfrou with Sand Attack, Surf, and Grass Knot. Not a Pokemon I was expecting to see on here. All right, other than that, guys, maybe we could take a look at how it performs in the Ultra League as well. Alright, so yeah, same thing with this one. Hippo line pretty much takes advantage of it. Palosand does rank a little bit better, but still, like, 154 is still kind of up there. And then let's just take a look at Master League, because I feel like Hippo might be in here as well. Yeah, so the Shadow Hippo as well as the regular Hippo does place within the top 100, which is kind of notable. I feel like in the Master League Premier Cup, this would be pretty good. I don't think it has it on here right now, but that is interesting. That's very, very interesting because in that specific cup, I know that Hippo is really good, and with Sand Attack, that just makes it that much better. Now, those were the only 3 moves that were added into the game right now, but we are going to get some attack changes as well. So the first one we're going to look at is going to be Shadow Bone. It got slightly buffed, and the main Pokemon that has this is, of course, going to be Alolan Marowak. So let's take a look at that Pokemon right now in the Great League. We'll just type in Shadow Bone here. I don't think anything else has access to it. You're right, it's an exclusive moveset for Alolan Marowak. Now, unfortunately, it doesn't seem like it really helps it all that much, but hey, it's an improvement, right? Alolan Marowak has kind of been out of the meta for a little while now, according to Matt, so it's nice to get this buff, but it doesn't do a whole lot for it compared to the overall meta that we have right now. Next up, let's take a look at Brick Break. So basically, the energy cost was increased, but it also got the ability to guarantee to lower the opposing Pokemon's defense by 1 stage. Any move that can guarantee to lower the opposing Pokemon's attack or defense is always a huge one in my opinion. So let's take a look at this one now on PvPoke, and then I'll cross-reference with Matt's analysis. By the way, if you guys want to check out Matt's full document, you can find it in the description down below. Alright, so taking a look at Brick Break, we can see that Vigoroth did get access to it, although it doesn't look like it's gonna be using it, but maybe it could be used as a potential, alternate moveset there, which is pretty interesting. Anything else that runs it, so Hakamo'o does actually place pretty high with Brick Break, which is pretty interesting to see. Gagoat also got buffed with it. Raichu, which is one that I knew had Brick Break, unfortunately is not going to be using that one, at least in speculation it won't be. The next move that we're going to look at is going to be Cross Chop. Now I personally do have experience with this one just because I ran Machamp so much in Great League, Ultra League, and even Master League. I ran Shadow Machamp in Master League. I'm pretty excited to check this one out, so let's type it in. Cross Chop. So boom, right there, Shadow Machamp at number 38. You love to see it. Regular Machamp also pretty high up there. Obstagoon does have Cross Chop as well, so these Pokemon got a nice little buff, and I love using Obstagoon, so I'm really happy to see that that one did get a small buff as well. Now, Shadow Machamp in the Master League, it does rank at 84, but in the Master League Premier Cup, this could be a game changer for it. So I'm excited to see how this one plays out. Now, according to Matt, Cross Chop basically becomes a Weather Ball clone with this additional buff. Taking a look at our next moveset, Aqua Tail is essentially going to get the same exact treatment. So this is also going to be a Weather Ball clone now. We could take a look at which Pokemon are going to benefit from this. Aqua Tail. Oh man, dude, I forgot Palkia Origin also has Aqua Tail. So this was currently like the #1 in Master League anyways. It's probably just gonna stay there for a little bit longer. And I was able to get the Hundo during the Sinnoh Tour in LA. So yeah, maybe I need to run this in Master League, man. That is pretty crazy right there to see. So that is the Master League though. Let's take a look at the Open Great League right now. So Quagsire does have access to it, but it won't be using it. Goodra got a nice buff with Aqua Tail, so you love to see that. That's a Pokemon that I feel like wasn't really getting as much spotlight, but it does have a pretty nice moveset. Dragon Breath plus Aqua Tail and then Power Whip for coverage. That is pretty solid right there. Dragonair as well. I do have this one built, so having that with Aqua Tail is actually looking pretty good there too. Not to mention in Specialty Cups, that'll be great. Now, according to Matt, he does mention to pay attention to all of the Gyarados in all the different leagues, but he also mentioned specifically to pay attention to Goodra, so keep that in mind. And then finally, our last buff was going to be for Water Pulse, which got buffed from 70 to 80 power specifically, and the energy cost was decreased. So Matt says that this plus Aqua Tail has the biggest potential on the meta right now. Now, taking a look at Water Pulse here, I don't see a whole lot of changes. Mantine is the most notable one that has access to Water Pulse, so even though it is speculative as of right now, I don't think that it has been factored into PvPoke. At least I find it hard to believe that Water Pulse isn't on the table here. Maybe Aerial Ace and Ice Beam are just better, you know, in general, but Water Pulse doing more damage, I gotta imagine that's gonna have some place somewhere. And unfortunately, looking at the top Pokemon here, I don't really see it on anything except for Walrein. Matt does mention that Mantine and Clodsire do immediately stand out as potential benefactors though, and Walrein gets additional coverage. Now, Matt does mention to pay attention to Arachnid though, which is going to get access to Water Pulse for the first time. So currently it is ranked at 206 in the Great League right now, and it's not recommended to use Water Pulse, but I can definitely see this changing from Bubble Beam to Water Pulse potentially. Now let's take a look at the attack availability updates. We have a lot of Pokemon to go through. We already kind of talked about Goodra, so I'm just going to skip that one and go straight to Empoleon. So let's take a look at Empoleon right now. That thing is ranked really, really well, dude. Shadow Empoleon, number 21. Regular Empoleon, number 37 in the Great League with Steel Wing. That is a really, really nice move to get for it. And in Ultra League, man, holy crap. So Empoleon, dude, Empoleon is gonna be putting in the work for sure during this GBL season. If you guys don't have an Empoleon built, well, you're definitely going to want to build one. I have mentioned this Pokemon many times in the past just because Waterfall plus Hydro Cannon and Drill Peck was already a good moveset to have, but Steel Wing is now just that much better for it, so yeah, you love to see it, man. Empoleon getting some spotlight. The next big Pokemon is going to be Feraligatr, which gets access to Shadow Claw. I feel like that's just huge by itself. Like, I don't even need to be super immersed into PvP to know that this Pokemon is going to benefit a lot from it, and clearly it is going to. So Shadow Feraligatr right here, Shadow Claw, Hydro Cannon, which is a legacy moveset, and Ice Beam. Massive game changer for Feraligatr, guys. Like, this thing was not even on anyone's radar before. Now Feraligatr in the top of the meta. Love to see it as well. Empoleon and Feraligatr got a lot of love this season. Taking a look at Great League, it's pretty much the same thing here as well. Very much in the top of the meta, the top 20 right there. And I don't know if it got any play in the Master League from this. Actually, some play, guys. So in the Master League Premier Cup, Feraligatr might actually be somewhat worth using. Did not ever expect to say that. Our next Pokemon that we're going to look at is going to be Gallade, which got access to Psycho Cut. Now, in the past, guys, this only knew Confusion. So Confusion was not that great for PvP. Like, Psycho Cut is the much preferred moveset to go with. So let's take a look at Gallade right now. First up, starting in the Great League. Gallade, oh my goodness, dude. Shadow Gallade got a huge buff. So Psycho Cut plus Close Combat and Leaf Blade, man. Number 22. The Shadow is number 22. Holy cow. That's incredible. That is just incredible for the Great League. What about the Ultra League? Dude, the Shadow got buffed so much compared to the regular. Like, they're both in the top of the meta, like top 100, but That's just crazy to see. Like, I never would have expected the Shadow would have been that much better. Now, according to Matt, this is his favorite Pokemon that got a buff. It no longer needs to rely on the clunkiness of Confusion. Not to mention, it's going to get access to Leaf Blades in 4 2-turn fast moves. So close combats will only take 5, and he says that's insane. Now don't get me wrong, it is still a glass cannon, but it is just way more flexible and energy efficient now. Huge game changer. So far we have Feraligatr, which got a huge buff, Gallade, which got a huge buff, Empoleon, Goodra we already looked at, which Goodra doesn't have as much, hype as these 3 Pokemon specifically, so that's just crazy to see. Now we already talked about Arachnid with Water Pulse, so I'm gonna skip that one right now. We have Throw, Sock, and Crocodile, Crabrawler all got access to Brick Break. Now, we did take a look at the overall meta for these Pokemon, just typing in Brick Break, and nothing really stood out, so I'm not going to really cover these Pokemon specifically. Kommo-o and Hakamo-o did actually have some more play, though, with Brick Break. I did see that in the meta here, so maybe you'll use them on those. I can't really say for sure. We also have all the other Pokemon that get access to Mudshot. I don't think this really does anything for them, though. At least, not to my knowledge. We can take a look at Mudshot right now and see what pops up, but honestly guys, what are we looking at here? We're looking at Dugtrio and Golem. They don't even really crack any of the top metas here, and even if I typed in Golem, I don't think it would really pop up that much. Yeah, it's not anything good. I mean, Mudshot is helpful for it, but at the end of the day, it still really doesn't do much for that Pokemon. Now, according to Matt, Kirlia and Starmie don't really benefit from either of these movesets, so we're just going to skip those entirely, but he does talk about Lilip getting access to Bullet Seed. So let's take a look at this Pokemon in the Great League meta. Alright, so we can see here that Bullet Seed is obviously the preferred moveset to go with, but I really think that it's only going to be useful during type-specific cups. As of right now, it doesn't seem like it's going to really shake up the Great League meta all that much. And then finally, our last Pokemon is Gastrodon, which gets access to Earthquake, but it already has access to Earth Power, so I mean, it doesn't really need Earthquake. That's like a worse moveset to have on it. And yeah, that's basically it, guys. So the main winners here, are Empoleon, Feraligatr, and Gallade. Like, that is my takeaway from this. I already have an Empoleon build, I already have a Feraligatr build, and I'm pretty sure I have like a Gallade or a Ralt somewhere that I can build for this. So definitely excited about this one right now. Just Gallade with the Shadow getting boosted so much, that is so exciting. Once again, big shout out to PvPoke and Matt for helping out with this analysis, as I'm not super well versed in PvP, but I do try to help you guys out, especially for those that do want to push for Legend. Now, I do also have some additional tips and tricks for Season 18 for those of you guys that want to either push for Legend or mainly grind Stardust. We're going to go over both strategies right now. So first, for those of you guys that do want to push for Legend, just know that it is a lot of work. Every season, it gets more difficult to reach this milestone as players continue to develop their skills. So I would recommend finding a few Twitch streamers and YouTubers to watch regularly throughout this season for the next 3 months. Now, basically, the difference here is that streamers will showcase their battles in real time, and it's my preferred way to consume this type of content when I would push for Legend, but YouTubers will also showcase a ton of different teams, sometimes even really hidden teams. Now, for those of you guys who don't really care that much to hit Legend and are just focused on resources, basically just make sure to get to rank 20 as soon as possible. So basically, as you continue to climb the ranks in GBL, you're going to get more Stardust per win reward up to rank 20 and Ace rank. You're also going to get more Stardust for your end of set rewards as well. Now, for those of you guys worried about hitting rank 20, it is literally just wins alone, so anybody can do it, guys. All you have to do is just be consistent, do your daily battles, and you're going to hit that thing before you even know it. So basically, just for completing a set with 0 wins, you're going to get 3,100 Stardust, and if you win 1 battle, you're going to get 4,000 Stardust. That is anywhere from 15 to 20,000 Stardust a day for minimal effort after just reaching rank 20. And it's purely win-based, guys. It's easily one of the best ways to accumulate Stardust as a free-to-play player, and I feel like not enough people take advantage of it, which is why I always talk about it in my videos. Now, finally, the last tip I have for you guys is for those of you who don't really care that much for PvP or just don't really like it that much, please don't force yourself to do your battles every single day. Like, I understand it is a lot of Stardust, but just go at your own pace, do what's within your schedule, and trust me, everything will just work out. Anyways, with that being said, that's pretty much going to wrap things up for this video. Let me know your own goals in the comment section down below. If you guys want to check out some more videos, I'm going to recommend these 2 right here. But before you go, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you all real soon in the next one.